Hey, shalom, shalom, Salakia. We had some technical difficulties, but Lord allow, we got them situated. What? That's definitely my password. Is that my password? Oh, that's my password. Nice shalom, Yahaba Shem Shabakatah to all the brothers. Uh, hold Shalom, Yahaba Shem Shabakatah to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar, Thaba Shem Shah to all the sisters. My name is Priest and Officer Natazaga Bar with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you are not in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, then you are not in the truth. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabrakatah, a todos mis carnales. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Elatah Bashem Yahweh Shah, a todos mis carnales. Soy la oficial Nataza Gabar de la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzo en la calle 125 oeste de Harlem, Nueva York, bajo el mando del general Yahana. Nosotras no estamos afiliadas a ningún otro grupo israelita. Si no estás en el ISUPK bajo el mando del general Yahana, no estás en la verdad. You understand? I make it a point to bring that out in English and in Spanish. Following after General Muhammad. General Muhammad inspired me to start at least forcing myself to learn Spanish. That way we can reach out to our Hispanic brothers and sisters, and so we can let them know that we stand with them in this fight. You understand? Um, you understand? So real quick, if you got any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat. We're gonna go ahead and get to them. Just waiting on my reader to tap in with me. You understand? So if you got any questions, anything you need broken down, go ahead and type them into the chat. We're gonna get to it. You understand? It's a lot of being late. We had some technical difficulties. I couldn't get the camera working, but I was able to get it figured out and get us back up and running. Like I said, if you got any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat. I mean, we answer questions in the UPK. You understand? We're gonna get straight to it like it's nothing to it. Break down all your questions. One second. All right, Shalom, Sister Ra'aya. Shalom, Sister Sharaya Carr. Shalom, Sister Azara. All right, so today, since we don't have no questions, if you got questions, you know what I mean, you can go ahead and type them in. It's totally cool. You know what I mean? If I miss it, you know what I mean, just give me a second. I'll be going from screen to screen when I be teaching. So, you know what I mean? Just bear with me. It ain't with so many people in the class, so I'll definitely get to your question. No problem. But today, man, we talking about your boy. You understand? Your boy. All you Christians, you understand, that wanted to go out and vote and voted for Donald Trump. You understand? Well, guess what? Your boy done did it today. He done it. You understand? Let me get this article pulled up so y'all can see it with me. You understand? It's a heavy thing what he did today. You understand? It's a heavy thing that he signed an executive order today, basically giving police ultimate power to unalive blacks and Hispanics and receive no repercussions for it. You understand? He basically didn't just let the dog off the leash. You understand? He let the dog off the leash. Give me 1 second, man. I'm gonna get this thing figured out one day. Let's see. Here we go. Boom. Share this article with y'all, man. All right, boom. Let's check it out. Let's check it out, man. Look at this. Donald Trump says, I have no choice. Trump signs executive order to protect police force. Story highlight. Says during his address, Donald Trump made bold statements. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. Tonight, I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law. He ain't got no choice, right? So basically, not that anybody should unalive a police officer, but he's signed into law that if a police officer is unalive for whatever reason, if they deem it to be murder, which of course, it's almost impossible, to not get charged and convicted of murder, when it comes to law enforcement. If you even make it to trial, because these cops, they some dirty, slimy bastards. You understand? They'll plant evidence on you, to make sure you get found guilty. If you don't believe me, look at Nasty Nate. You understand? Nasty Nate, like it came out that he was a detective. Nobody knew for years that he was a cop until he falsely arrested two brothers. You understand? They ended up suing the state of New York and winning the lawsuit. You understand? And then they tried to get all mad at us because we just read the article. You understand? If you don't want to, here's the thing. If you don't want the UPK to talk about you, stay out the news, man. Stay out the news. You know what I mean? Stop. You know what I mean? Stay off the internet. You know what I mean? Keep your business off the internet. You understand? Don't be trying to fake it like you an Israelite. You know what I mean? And then whole time you a pegboard behind the screen. You understand? Don't be doing that, man. You understand? So Donald Trump says on Wednesday, March the 5th, U.S. President Donald Trump addressed a joint session of Congress for the first time since he assumed office. In his lengthy address, there were a couple of gratitude and appreciation notes he shared. He honored many for their work and highlighted the grit and dedication of slain New York police officer Jonathan Dillard. You understand? Of course, he's going to honor a slain police officer. You understand? But Donald Trump won't speak a word about, you understand, any of the blacks and Hispanics that lost their lives at the hand of these police officers. He also made bold statements. He said, I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. You understand? So here's the thing about murder, right? He's saying a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. You understand? But here's the thing. Oftentimes, and if you've ever been in situations or seen situations or been close to situations where the unfortunate incident of someone either losing their life or having to defend their life or having to defend the life of someone else, right? More often than not, it's a thin line between self-defense and murder. And that's real talk. That's why you have to understand the laws when it comes to self-defense. You can't, it's certain things that you can't do when it comes to using deadly force. However, like I said, it's a thin line between self-defense and murder. And that thin line could be just as simple as how this particular juror interprets the law. You understand? Interprets a lot of things. You know what I mean? They could be looking at who you are, who you're affiliated with, your past crimes, your past run-ins with police. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff will go into account. You understand? But you know what I mean? Like say you look at the situation like with Tupac. Where Tupac shot 2 police officers for trying to unalive somebody. You understand? Like the little girl that saved her mother from getting unalived by a police officer. You understand? Situations like that could very easily go left and be considered murder. You understand? And you unalive a cop, depending on where you at in the country, you understand, that could very easily result in a death penalty. You understand? But see, here's the thing. There's people who've been convicted of murder that didn't necessarily commit murder. You understand? Like, you can be convicted of murder. Like, say, for instance, okay, in South Carolina, right? In South Carolina, if someone pulls a gun out on me and I pull the gun out on him and I start shooting at him and he turns his back to me and runs and I continue to shoot, when he was facing me, that was self-defense. But the minute he turned his back on me and started running, at that point, he was retreating. He is no longer a threat, and I continued to fire on him. Now it's murder. But see, here's the thing. Most police officers, you know what I mean? Like, if you've ever been into any, I'm gonna say, like, advanced self-defense courses. Most advanced self-defense courses, they don't train you to pull your gun out and fire one shot. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever been in a situation where you've had to discharge a firearm in a conflict like that, then you know that situations, they happen like that, like that. Adrenaline, and the thing is, your adrenaline will be so high that it's weird because it almost seems like it's in slow motion, but it's as fast as lightning. You understand? It's hard to describe. It's like you're in the twilight zone for a second. You understand? But the thing is that in situations like that, when your adrenaline is through the roof, like, sometimes you have a reaction, and some people will react by firing multiple shots. They're just gonna fire until the threat down. You understand? So if a person is in a high stressful situation, say even with a cop, say if somebody wake up, cop illegally entered into their home, you understand, has guns drawn, cops coming to kill, and you open fire on this cop in a high stressful situation, and after one shot, that cop turns and is like, I gotta get out of here, but you still firing. Now you done hit him 3 times in the back. Now at that point, that's murder. You understand? Because he's trying to flee your property. You understand? So now, if the cop was on something wrong, okay, fine. But once he turns his back, now that's murder. You know what I mean? Even if he get hit kind of in the side, if they able to interpret it as this cop was trying to retreat, now it's no longer self-defense, it's murder. So that's what I'm saying. It's a thin line between self-defense and murder. That's why even self-defense cases It's never just cut and dry. It's rarely cut and dry. And when it comes to police, it is not going to be cut and dry. If you ever have to defend yourself against the police, it will never be cut and dry. It is going to be completely one-sided until you go to court. And even after you get found, even if you was to get found not guilty, you're still going to be targeted by the police. They're going to target you. You understand? So he signed in a law making it a mandatory death penalty to anyone who murders a police officer. You understand? And that's why I said there's a thin line between self-defense and murder. You understand? Self-defense, let me clarify. There's a thin line between self-defense and second-degree murder. First-degree murder means you premeditated this. You understand? So I guess if you premeditate to unalive, but who's gonna premeditate to unalive a police officer? Most police officers that get unalive, it's not premeditated. It's the situation arises, boom, open fire on the cop. It's not premeditated. You understand? Now, you can call it that, but it's not premeditated. You know what I'm saying? It's a reaction. You understand? So, I'm gonna have to get into this executive order to see how they gonna clarify it. But there's different degrees of murder. Like there's even third-degree murder or manslaughter. You understand? So, it's gonna have to be interpreted, because maybe first-degree murder of a police officer might result in a death penalty. You understand? But here's the thing. If you're going to do it like that, then what about the cop that unalives somebody, an unarmed person? If a cop unalives an unarmed person, then he should get the death penalty too then. You're going to unalive somebody for killing a cop. What about unaliving a cop for killing an unarmed black man? What about that? You understand? But that of course ain't how our oppressor ain't gonna move like that. He's not gonna be fair. He's gonna make moves to oppress blacks and Hispanics. He's always gonna do that. You understand? Says I'm also asking for a new crime bill, getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protection for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. Now, this is what's important about this that a lot of people need to pay attention to. It says, I'm also asking for a new crime bill, getting tough on repeat offenders. Repeat offenders, that sounds a lot like the 3-strike law. You understand? And here's the thing. A lot of states have 3-strike laws already. South Carolina has one. It's called the habitual offenders law. They're talking about enhancing those crimes. You understand? They're talking about making them even more. So, like in California, that 3-strike law, you do that thing. Matter of fact, you do that thing 3 times, you get life. You understand? And in several states, it's like that. You understand? So I'm trying to figure out how can you enhance when a lot of states already give you life. In South Carolina, you get 5 years. You know what I mean? That's like an automatic 5 years on your sentence. Now, also, too, they have like first offense, second offense, third offense. Excuse me. So, you know what I mean? That's kind of how that, I'm guessing criminal law is about to operate similar to traffic law. Because in traffic law is real tough on repeat offenders. You know what I'm saying? Because you have 2 different types of habitual offender when it comes to traffic laws. You have the habitual offender, like you can really, in the state of South Carolina, you can really end up with like a 10 to 15 year prison sentence just for having a suspended license. Because say if you get a DUS third in South Carolina, right? You can get anywhere from 90 days to a year in prison. Up to 2 years in prison, I think. Then they'll charge you with habitual offender, which is automatic 5 years. But then, because the DMV declares you a habitual offender, if you get caught driving, then that's like another 5 years. So, what else? And then, there's something else they can do that can actually give you another 5 years. You understand? So they can actually, with a suspended license in South Carolina, they can give you up to 5 years in prison, up to 15 years in prison, just for having a suspended license. And that's a victimless crime. That's a pay fine. You understand? But they're talking about doing this with other crimes. So, say if you, you know what I mean, and a lot of states already have tough. They're already tough on repeat offenders. But what I'm thinking is, because right now, it's like a repeat offender is when you have, well, except for states that have the 3-strike law, but in most states, repeat offenders, there's a window of time that you have to get convicted in for those enhancements to come into play. You understand? So, like, if you commit 3 of these same type of crimes within a 5-year period, then there's enhancements that come with that. You understand? So if he's talking about making these tougher, then, you know what I mean, it's probably not gonna matter how long ago you committed that crime. You know what I mean? It could have been something you did when you was 17, and then something you did when you was 39. But because you're a repeat offender, now it's an enhancement on top of it. And who do you think they're going? Because here's the thing: the prosecutors, if you ever sat in court, the police and the prosecutors, they play this little game. And I'm gonna tell you, like, we had hold on one second, Salaki. Hey, Shalom, Yahabashim Shabbat. What's going on, priest? I think your mic muted up.
Shalom, Christ, sir. I'm still trying to work how to get over here. I had to set up a whole account, so like you.
Ain't no sweat. Ain't no sweat. All right. So so there was a brother that we had went to court with, and when we were sitting there on this court date, we were watching them. When people come in and they got their hearings and whatnot. There was brothers that was coming in that they couldn't even speak English. They was Hispanic brothers. They was coming in, couldn't even speak English, got pulled over, and got caught with some meth, with some drugs on them. And obviously it was their little smoke sack, their little smoke pipe, and that's what they got caught with. But the police ended up charging them with intent to distribute. Now, intent to distribute is a completely different charge than possession. So they charged the Hispanic brother with intent to distribute. Every brother they arrested, they couldn't speak English, they got caught with drugs, was charged with intent to distribute. And when they go to the hearing, they was pleading guilty and getting 15 years in prison. They was given 15 years to drug addicts. You understand? They was given 15 years to drug addicts. Meanwhile, you understand? Now I know it's some white folks that's smoking more meth than a little bit. You understand? You don't see none of them in the courthouse. You don't see no white people in the courthouse going to prison for smoking meth. You understand? But you see our brothers in there getting 15 years. And then the prosecutors, listen, you would think the prosecutor would be like, nah, based on the evidence, this need to be dropped down to simple possession. He didn't have enough to be charged with intent to distribute. You understand? So this need to be dropped down to simple possession. The prosecutor not going to do that. What the prosecutor going to do is like, hey, listen, I could, you know what I mean? He charged you with 2 counts of it. So what we're going to do is drop it down to 1 count. Instead of 30 years, we give you 15 years. Boom. They taking the 15 years because they ready, you know what I mean? Because it sounds better than 30 years. But here's the deal. What they don't know and what you call them, the public defenders ain't telling them is that if you take this to trial, you're gonna win because you do not have enough drugs on your possession to get 15 years in prison. So they charging our brothers with with these trumped up charges, and because they don't know any better, they getting these football numbers all over simple possession. So this game that they play with the prosecutors, it's completely one-sided. A prosecutor will look at a white man and be like, listen, I'm gonna help you out. You know, a little probation, little what they call it, community service, and we'll let you, you know, a little pay fine, and we'll let you go. Don't do it again. But a brother, they giving him 15, 25 years for simple possession, for being a drug addict. You understand? So this part right here, where it's talking about getting tough on repeat offenders, mark my word, that tough on repeat offenders, if you was to look up the statistics of what's going to happen with these Trump changes, I guarantee you that it's going to astronomically outweigh on the black hand side. You understand? And then let's get back to the article, right? It says, while enhancing protection for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. Now, think about that. What does that mean? While enhancing protection for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. Think about that. How can doing their job risk their lives being totally destroyed? I can tell you how. By unaliving an innocent black man that doesn't have a firearm on him. You understand? And then the city goes into an uproar because an unarmed black teenager got killed on a date with a white girl, you understand, by a police officer with his hands up saying, please don't shoot me. And then the whole city goes in an uproar because the cop just got paid leave, didn't even get arrested. You understand? Now the cop gets arrested, goes to trial, and gets found guilty. So now his life is totally destroyed for trying to do his job. Donald Trump is trying to do away with that. Not trying to, he's done away with it. So all the protesting ain't gonna mean a damn thing. And guess what? Ain't gonna be no protest for no dead black boys. Ain't gonna be no protesting for it. Black Lives Matter, they don't even exist no more. You understand? You know what I mean? Black Lives Matter, they don't even exist no more. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was so up in arms about the UPK because we spoke against Black Lives Matter. You understand? But where's Black Lives Matter at? Where's Black Lives Matter at talking against this? Where they at? They know it. They don't exist. They took all your money and built mansions with your money. You understand? He says, we are not going to let them get killed. Listen, I'm willing to bet if I look up statistics, let's look up statistics, right? Google.com. Let's see. How many black people were killed by police in 2024? Okay, so black and Hispanic together make up 449 people. 449 people were unalive by the police in 2024. Let's see how many police officers were killed in 2024. $37. 37 cops. 37 cops was killed in 2024. 37 of them, Mashawn. But 450 of us was killed. 450 of us was killed. But yet, he passing laws for them 37 cops. 37 cops. He about to wipe out an entire generation of black people because of 37 cops. He about to wipe out an entire generation because of 37 cops. Now, hold on. Let's read this, right? We are going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero. New York's finest. We're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Uh-oh. You understand? See, a lot of you black folks that like to think, oh man, Hispanics was taking our jobs too. You was out here drinking that Kool-Aid. Guess what? Donald Trump coming to knock on your door next. Who do you think he targeting? Talking about the cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders. You understand? He talking about the 450 of us that got killed last year. Ain't say a word about that. He ain't speak a word about the 450 of us that got killed by the police. Didn't say a word about it. And then this the part that disgusts me, right? While he's up there giving the address, while Donald Trump was giving the address about this new executive bill, right? What's the kid's name? DJ Brown, I think his name was. Let's see. Donald Trump, DJ Brown. Here we go. DJ Daniel, excuse me. Donald Trump, after he sat there and talked about all the things he was going to do, all the enhancements he was going to do, right? Now check this out. Check out what he goes and does. Check out what he goes and does after he sits up there and tells the world all these things he's about to do, right? See, check this out, right?
$7 million U.S. businesses rely on TikTok to compete.
Within a week of posting, I had over.
Hold on, man. I don't know. I think that's an ad. I think it's an ad. I don't know. Yeah, that's an ad. Hold on. Let me let that ad play. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I got for you. They come.
What a good-looking family, huh?
There's one more thing I got for you. They come.
Okay, good. That's very nice. Look at that family you got, huh? Very nice. How are you? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. That was a big evening last night, right? Yes, it was. That was a big evening.
So look at that right there, right? He goes and brings up, guess who? A little black child. A little black child. And talks about how this little black child wants to be a police officer. You understand? Meanwhile, he's gearing up to completely genocide the black community. Goes and makes him the poster child of the coming black genocide in America. You understand? Our oppressor is the goddamn devil the Bible speak of, man. You understand? Goes and wraps it up in blackface. You understand? Now, this young brother, man, he's battling cancer. You understand? And I can understand why, as a child wants to be a cop. You understand? Because as a child, you want to do something honorable with your life. You understand? And you grow up, you're watching the cartoons, and you're thinking that the cops are the good guys. You know what I mean? Cops and robbers. You're thinking all the bad guys is bank robbers and all the good guys is cops. I get it. You understand? But here's the thing. Look at this. I was disgusted when I seen it. Like, look at this. I was. Hold on, watch. This is it right here. Hold on. This is what I seen that disgusted me. Let me see. This is what I seen that disgusted me.
Man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
You know, I can't fault the young brother, man. But it just disgusts me to my stomach. It made me sick to my stomach to see that Donald Trump is gonna hold up this young brother and hold him in your face like, see, it's not a black thing. See, it's not about black people. It's not about black and white. I love black people. See, here's my black friend. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make my black friend a Secret Service agent. It ain't about black people. But watch what's gonna happen when these laws get into full effect. It's gonna be black people. You understand? But here's what I want to show you, right? Well, I want to show you that this is nothing new. This is nothing new what Donald Trump is doing, man. You understand? And I'm gonna prove it to you, right? Ashan,
Come on, sir.
if you could, I want you to go to the book of Exodus for me. And I'm gonna show you something, right? See, you hear us say it all the time in the UPK that there's a direct correlation between Egypt and America. There's a direct correlation. You understand? The same things that Egypt did to us, our oppressor here in America does to us to this day. That's how you know that we are the children of Israel. We are suffering the same exact oppression that we suffered in Egypt. You understand? The so-called Jewish man ain't experiencing the things that we experience. You understand? He couldn't survive the things that we survived. You understand? He could not bear the pain that we have bared here in America. He couldn't do it. No other nation on this earth could do it. You understand? And read that when you got it up.
Oh, what chapter?
Chapter 1. I want you to start at verse 8.
Come on, sir. Got it. Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, Now there rose up a new king over Egypt.
So there rose up a new king over Egypt. Who is this new king? Donald Trump. Donald Trump is this new king that rose up in Egypt. Read on.
Which knew not Joseph.
So listen, Donald Trump, he ain't got no love for blacks and Hispanics. He ain't got no love for us. He don't owe us nothing. You understand? What he loves is his people and his brothers. You understand? And his agenda. That's what he loves. Read on.
And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
And listen, you look at what's happening, right? What was one of the biggest fears? What was Donald Trump kept saying during his campaign? We're gonna take our country back. You understand? He kept saying we're gonna take our country back. Why was he saying that? Because the children of Israel were filling up the country, and he was and these devils is afraid that we will become more and mightier than them. You understand? Read on.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
So he says, let's deal wisely with them. Let's come together and come up with a plan on how we going to deal with them. You understand? We got a mass deportation. We got to strict the laws. We got to empower the police. This is them saying, let us deal wisely with them. They can't just come out and plainly say, oh man, it's all these blacks and these niggas and these Hispanics. We got to get rid of all these niggas and Hispanics. We got to put the niggas in jail, get the Hispanics back to Mexico. We got to get them out of here. They're not just going to plainly say that. You understand? So they're going to deal wisely with us. Read on.
Lest they multiply, and it comes to pass that when there falleth out any war and join also to our enemies
You
and
understand?
fight against us.
And that is what they're afraid of. That is what our oppressor is definitely afraid of. He is because listen, who is in these wars? Let me show you something. Let me show you something, right? I'm just gonna pull up one picture, and I'm just, I normally I'm bad with names, but this guy, I happen to remember his name. You understand? This brother right here. If you ever heard
It's
of
time
this,
to earn double points when you get treated with.
I'm gonna show you this brother right here. Let me go to Google. Let me just pull up a picture of him, right? I'm just gonna pull up a picture of this brother. This brother right here, his name is Nicholas Irving, right? Let me see. Let me make it big for everybody to see. Hold on. Let me see. Let me share this one instead. All right, boom. This brother right here, right? This brother's name is Nicholas Irving. You understand? Cold brother. You understand? Now this brother right here, this is just one brother, for example. But this brother right here, his code name in the military was Reaper. And he is one of, if not the deadliest sniper in the world. He's a black man. You understand? You hear about Chris Kyle. You understand? Now, Chris Kyle, listen, Chris Kyle was cold, but this man right here was a lot colder than Chris Kyle. Chris Kyle they made a movie about him called American Sniper. This brother right here, in my opinion, was colder than Chris Kyle. You understand? This brother right here, they hired snipers to purposely hunt this brother down. This brother was a sniper killer. He used to kill other snipers. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad this brother was. You understand? And this is just one. You understand? This is one example of the thousands of black and Hispanic men that fill the ranks of Esau's military. You understand? Who you think is over there in them battles? You understand? Winning these wars. It's blacks and Hispanics. It's blacks and Hispanics on them battlefields. You understand? They not sending Toby and Bryson out to the front lines. Nah, they sending blacks and Hispanics. And guess what they doing? They going out there leveling the city and coming home to talk about it. You understand? They not dying out there in these wars like Esau dying. You understand? Our brothers is coming home. Now, yeah, they coming home and barely getting any type of VA assistance. But I'm just explaining to you that the U.S. military force is fueled and propped up by blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. That is the danger in the U.S. military. Those are these brothers, when they come to get you, they coming to get you. You understand? This is why Esau is afraid, because he knows that if we was not joined unto him, if for any reason blacks and Hispanics come together and separate from the white man, and if we decide to go to war with them, we would devastate them. You understand? Not saying that we should go to war. Let me clarify. We should not pick up guns and go to war with our oppressor. We should not do it. Now, technology-wise, he got the technology to just wipe out the whole planet. You understand? He don't have to send a soldier out to do nothing. He can hit a button from the White House and wipe out half the country. You understand? I'm just saying that, person for person in the military, it's pretty one-sided who's actually doing the unaliving in the military, who the skilled men of war are. You understand? It's men like this. Now I'm gonna get back to old Trumpster. Let me get back to old Trumpster. I mean, we're gonna get back to Trump. All right, read on up.
And so get them up out the land.
And do what?
Get them up out the land.
What that sound like? What do that sound like? That sound like mass deportation, mass incarceration. You understand? That's what that is. He's saying we got to get them up out the land. Look at that. Look like the exact thought that this devil on the left of Donald Trump thinking in his head. We got to get these niggers in jail.
Come on, sir.
We got to lock these niggers up. And these Mexicans, they got to go. We got to get them out of here because they are a threat to white power.
You see what he's doing? Salaki, sir. You see what he's doing now with the respiration for the white people, actually, for racism.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yes.
Donald Trump love his people, man. You understand? And I commend him for how much love he has for his people. But if Donald Trump can get so much love for the love he shows his people, where the love at for the UPK, man? You understand? Why we got to get so much hate? We ain't trying to do nothing but love our people. Why we got to be the bad guy when we just trying to love our people? You understand? Because the Christian church don't love our people. Donald Trump don't love our people. Donald Trump about to throw our people in prison. And you know what? And if you ain't, listen, man, if you ain't in the UPK, you better run into the UPK. Because it's about to get real bad. It's about to get stupid bad. You understand? Read on.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmakers.
They did what?
Set over them taskmakers, taskmasters.
So therefore, they set over them taskmasters. You understand? The taskmasters, Salakia. Oh, you got me messing up, huh? The taskmasters are your modern day police. Those are the taskmasters. You understand? How do I know? Read on.
To afflict them with their burdens.
To do what?
Afflict them with their burdens.
To afflict them with their burdens. Read on.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure city. What's that word?
Pithom.
And
Ramses. So it says, and they built Pharaoh treasure cities. Listen, we built treasure cities in America. Blacks and Hispanics, man, who you think up there in them skyscrapers in New York? Welding them beams together. You understand? Climbing them like Spider-Man. Who you think built Atlanta? Who you think built Greenville, South Carolina? You understand? Who you think built Chicago? LA? You understand? Dallas, St. Louis. Who do you think built them cities up? Who do you think is building all the homes that our oppressor lives in? Who do you think work for all the contracting companies that oppressors own to get rich off of? It's blacks and Hispanics. You understand? We built for them treasure cities. We built America. We built the Washington Monument, the Capitol Hill. We built that. Slaves built the White House. You understand? We built all the treasure cities, man. You understand? But yet, as much love as we showed to America, They answer for it is to oppress us even more. I remember General Muhammad had a camp speaking one time. It was so heavy. We said nobody is more patriotic than a black man. Nobody. No, we bleed in their wars. We serve their kingdom. We built their cities. Nobody is more patriotic than a black man. But what has America done for black people? What has America done for black people? America set aside when America damn near started a world war to give the so-called Jewish man his own land. What has America done for black people? Read on.
But the more they afflict them, and more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
And look at that. It said but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. You understand? The more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. Read, and then it says, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Why were they grieved? Because we just existed. Just us existing grieved the Egyptians. Just us playing music grieved the Egyptians. Just having a cookout outside grieved them. Look at white people's face when black people are having a good time. You understand? We see it at Hebrew Academy every Sunday. When we do Hebrew Academy on Sundays, man, now I'm not saying the brothers out there having a good time. you know what I'm saying? The brothers out there getting tortured on Sundays. You understand? But even watching them getting tortured, they sit and are grieved with us, are looking at us like, why are you doing this here? Because it's a public park, man. We can do what the hell we want to do. Just like you out here walking your dog, letting them defecate all on the walking trail, we out here getting it in. You understand? So these heathens are grieved. Just seeing us breathe air grieves them. You understand? Margaret Sanger, right? Let me tell you about Margaret Sanger, right? Margaret Sanger was such a disgusting bitch. You understand? Margaret Sanger was poor growing up. Her family survived off of welfare. And her family surviving off of welfare, if they saw another black family surviving off of welfare, they actually felt like that black person should not be eating that food off of welfare because that food that they're eating should come to them. That's what Margaret Sanger thought. That's what Margaret Sanger as a little girl. Those are the thoughts that she had as a little girl, as a child. That stinking bitch. That funky bitch. As a little child, that's what she thought. Listen, the scriptures say that our oppressor is estranged from the womb. You understand? They estranged from the womb. I mean, even as a child, they evil towards us. Just seeing us clean and look like we just took a shower just bothers them. Just walking by us in the grocery store and smelling us smelling good bothers them. Like, you shouldn't be smelling good. You should be smelling like armpits, wearing sandals, and be picking cotton in the field. That's what they think when they see us. When they see us with clean tennis shoes on and gold teeth in their mouth, that's what they think in their brain. You should be on the cotton field. You shouldn't have that gold in your mouth. You shouldn't be shining. You shouldn't be looking like you just put lotion on. Your hair shouldn't be nice and neatly cut up and braided like that. You should be looking like you just climbed out of a hole. You can't be out here looking better and smelling better than me. I'm the white man. That's what they think in their brain when they see us. It make them sick to their stomach when you ride by in a 1971 Chevy Caprice with 24-inch rims on it with subwoofers in the trunk. It make them sick to their stomach when they see that. It make them so sick that you put all that money into that car and they say you decrease the value of it. You understand? That's how much you know they hate. That's how you know that this Bible is talking about us. Read on.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
With rigor. You understand? Made us to serve with rigor. You understand? Listen, America is about to do it. You about to really feel it. You understand? Because here's that thing, right? It says, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Let me give you a modern day example of that. I'm going to give you a modern day example of what this means, right? It says, made them to serve with rigor. When I was growing up as a child, right, my grandmother used to always have this quote. She used to say that I used to have to work 9 times harder than a white boy because I'm black. Because in order for me to have the same opportunity, I have to work 9 times. I have to work 9 times harder than him, or 10 times harder than him, in order for me to have the same opportunity. So we have to work with rigor. We have to be 10 times better than the white man to get the same job. You understand? Read on.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage
and made their lives bitter with hard bondage. Our lives are bitter because of bondage, because of imprisonment. Our lives are bitter. You know, I saw a video the other day, man, and it really brought tears to my eyes when I saw it. You understand? Because this girl was walking out of her school. She was maybe about 14 years old. and she comes out the door and she's walking to her mom, and her mom's like, hey, and she looking at her mom like, Mom, why you got the camera out? And then all of a sudden the mom says, who's that over there? And the girl looks, and it's her father. And her father got out of prison after 10 years in prison. And the little girl, the 14-year-old girl, broke down and started crying and ran and jumped in her father's arms like she was 4 years old all over again. That's how you know that child's life was bitter, because of that hard bondage. Our children's lives are bitter. Listen, a lot of sisters, right? And I have to bring this up because my mother made this mistake. My mother made this mistake. My mother could have very easily had a man in her life, and I could have had a father that could have grew up in a house with a family. But my mother was a bitter woman. And I don't charge my mother for this, because I know that my mother was influenced by things outside of her that made her believe that what she did was the right thing. So I don't fault my mother for this. You understand? I love my mother. I honor my mother dearly. You understand? But the thing is that a lot of sisters believe that that their emotions are more important than the mental health of their children. You understand? They believe that their emotions are more important than the mental health of their children. Because I would tell you this. Any child that grows up in a household. Now, I'm not saying, because there's many households that grow up whose fathers are truckers, who just not there, who off working abroad. That's not the same thing, because that child knows that one day daddy's coming home. He can pick up the phone, call dad anytime, see dad anytime. When dad comes home, he's gonna love them, love the mama, and they get to see their father and mother have a healthy relationship. Not saying that, because that has its own set of tolls, but it does not cause the trauma that I'm talking about. But the trauma of knowing that their father is not coming home at night, that their father is not going to be at home waiting on them, that their father is not going to tuck them in, that their father is not in the house to keep them safe from the boogeyman. You understand? That their mother, you understand, brings all of her emotion home. See, here's the thing about little boys, right? Little boys are young men. And just like an adult, man, the young boy has the same ability to separate emotion and logic. You understand? But when he's around nothing but his mother, when he's in a house ruled by his mother, even he, you understand, knows that this ain't right. You understand? My mama is crazy. She tripping. What she's saying don't even make sense. You understand? She mad about me. Yeah, she because a lot of times sisters don't even realize it, but they'll be mad about one thing this day and then be happy about the same thing the next day. Or be happy about one thing this day and then be mad about it the next day. You understand? and and only because they themselves don't have that man in their life that can keep them grounded. Because that's what a man does for a woman. A man will keep you grounded. If you let him, he will keep you grounded. And you need to be grounded in this world. A woman needs to be grounded. You cannot just fly off on out, like what they call it, like one flew from the cuckoo's nest. You can't just do that. You cannot just be free from the cuckoo nest to just think and breathe and be however you choose to be, because you're going to destroy you and everybody in your life. Not saying because you're incompetent, but it's because you are ruled by your emotions. And emotional people trample everything that's in their life. You understand? They trample it. You understand? Whether they and it may not even be intentional. It's not intentional because it's emotional. You understand? And deep down you love your kids, but do you love them enough to sacrifice your own feelings for their mental health? You understand? A lot of children grow up to get unalived at 16 years old because they grow up too emotional and get in an altercation with another boy who grew up in the same scenario. You understand? One of them got a gun, the other one don't. And now your child is unalived, all because you couldn't sacrifice your feelings for that child's mental health. A lot of what happens amongst young men, it all boils down to our young men not even knowing how to respect each other as men. And the reason why is because a lot of them are raised by single parent households by women who have no respect for men. So they don't learn how to respect another man. They don't learn how to give respect to get respect, because the person they being raised by has no self-respect. So they grow up disrespectful to everybody. And then everybody in the neighborhood disrespectful. That's where the diss song come from, disrespect. You understand? So all of that leads to the broken homes, leads our men into bondage. And that hard bondage makes all of our lives bitter. You understand? Because it's not a sweet thing to wake up in the morning to find out that your neighbor's son got shot down right in front of your house. That's not a beautiful thing to see. Even if it's not your child, now you have to live with the fear thinking that could be your child. You understand? Because that hard bondage, you understand? That's a cycle that's been going on for 500 years. You understand? And it's made our lives bitter. The difference is that now we can fight against certain aspects of it. Because now a lot of it is because we've fallen into the traps that our oppressors set before us. But we don't have to fall into them traps. You understand? The one thing our oppressor is most afraid of is black man and black woman coming together. And then the black men coming together. And then blacks and Hispanics coming together. That is what our oppressor is most afraid of. He is most afraid of us coming together. You think our oppressor is afraid that there's 100,000 Israelite groups? Nah. You want to know why he's not afraid? Even though he know that what we're teaching is the truth. You want to know why he's not afraid? Because even though we know who we are, we still ain't coming together. We still ain't coming together. So our oppressor ain't afraid. You know what I'm saying? So soon as he walk down the street, he see one Israelite group, he might get afraid if it's just one Israelite group. Then he see another, oh man, them niggas ain't even together. Niggas ain't coming together, man. They even know the truth of who they are. It still ain't coming together. Don't even know that in the Bible it say one body. Y'all don't even know the Bible. You don't think our oppressor know these scriptures? You don't think our oppressor knows that there should be only one group of Israelites? You don't think our oppressor knows that the ISUPK is where it all started? And that the ISUPK is the true body of Christ? You don't think our oppressor know that? Come on, man. Why you think these fake Israelites fall day after day after day? You understand? Read on.
With hard bondage and mortar and the brick and all manners of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
So here's the deal, right? They give us all the crappy jobs. You understand? We have to work 50 hours a week, 60, 70 hours a week. You understand? And get half the pay as our oppressors. Our oppressors can have the same exact job and get paid 3 times the amount as us. And guess what? They'll never tell you. I want you to drop that out. All right. I want you to go to go to verse 14.
14, sir. That's what we just read.
I mean, so like, go to Exodus chapter 5 and verse 14.
Exodus chapter 5, verse 14. And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded, wherefore have ye not fulfilled your task in making bricks both yesterday and today as theretofore?
So here's the deal, right? So the taskmasters was beating the children of Israel. You understand? They used to beat them. They used to unalive them. You understand? Why you think Moses unalived one of them? Moses unalived them because they was about to unalive another brother. You understand? And guess what? Guess what they was about to do to Moses? They was gonna put Moses to death. Moses was wanted for murder. So what did Moses do? He fled. He went on a run. You understand? And guess what? And I'm telling you all that because the same things that was happening to us in Egypt, the same exact things that was happening to us in Egypt, you understand, is the same exact things that's happening to us today.
So like it, sir.
Go ahead, Doc.
Ain't that exactly what Trump just basically just said was going to take place? You're going to be put to death?
Exactly. That's exactly the same thing. You understand? Exactly the same thing. You understand? All right, and Salaki again for being late. You understand? We had technical difficulties. The water to everybody who tuned in to class. Sean, the water for reading tonight. You understand?
Boss, sir.
All right, and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the class. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And with that, shalom.
Shalom.